Hi everyone, this is Katherine here with another one of our regular podcasts. This is a slightly unusual podcast because it started life as a sermon. A couple of weeks ago I preached at the Sunday communion service in church, and it was a bit of a different sort of sermon to usual. So I'm sharing it now in the hope that it continues to speak to some of you as well. Let me begin by reading the Bible passage, which was Philippians chapter 1, verses 21 to 30. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I am to go on living in the body, this will mean fruitful labour for me. Yet what shall I choose? I do not know. I am torn between the two. I desire to depart and be with Christ, which is better by far. But it is more necessary for you that I remain in the body. Convinced of this, I know that I will remain, and I will continue with all of you for your progress and joy in the faith, so that through my being with you again, your joy in Christ Jesus will overflow on account of me. Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. Then, whether I come and see you or only hear about you in my absence, I will know that you stand firm in the one Spirit, contending as one man for the faith of the gospel, without being frightened in any way by those who oppose you. This is a sign to them that they will be destroyed, but that you will be saved, and that by God. For it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him, since you are going through the same struggle you saw I had, and now hear that I still have. So, as we reflect briefly on this passage from Philippians, would you come with me on a journey in your imagination? We're going to visit a church not far from here. Let's call it St. Bridget's. And I've got a number of friends there who I'd like you to meet. So let's have a chat with them over a cup of coffee after the service. And yes, we're travelling in time too. Back to the good old days where we actually could share in coffee and a biscuit together after a Sunday service. The first person we meet is Lauren. We're lucky to catch Lauren because she isn't often around on a Sunday. She's got a job in the city and she travels a lot for work. Although she's working from home right now, she spends most evenings and weekends on Zoom for her work meetings. I've been trying to catch up with her for ages, but it's just so hard to find a window in her diary. Just as we're starting to say hello to Lauren, her phone pings. Sorry, I've got to go. It's my boss. I must take this. So she heads off to find somewhere quiet to take the call. And as she goes, a chap standing nearby comments, "Her work is her life, you know." I recognise his voice. Let me introduce you to another one of my friends. This is Adam. Adam is always around whenever I visit St. Bridget's, but he's not that easy to have a conversation with. Adam is a stay-at-home dad, and right now he's got a restless baby in his arms, a toddler clinging to his legs, and a couple more children playing in the corner who he's keeping an eye on as well. Adam begins to tell us about his week. It's been a mixture of the school run, toddler group, play dates, feeds, nappies and broken nights. By his own admission, he is exhausted. And he's come to church for a bit of a rest so that someone else can take care of the children for an hour. But he would not have it any other way. In his own words, "My family is my life." As Adam turns away to check on his children, let's move on, and I'm going to introduce you to some more friends, Jack and Tracy. I can just spot them heading to the door, but if we're really quick, we'll catch them. They're pleased to say hello, but they're just heading off to play golf. They're regulars at the local course and play several times a week. At least they do when they're not off on a round the world cruise or staying at their second home in France. Jack and Tracy both retired a few years ago, and they're making the most of this time now to do all of those things that they've wanted to do for years. They come to church when they can fit it in amongst their busy social life. But as they head off, their parting words are these: this is our time now. This is our life, to live it our way. It's nearly time for us to go too, but I've just spotted one other person you must meet first. There's my friend Paul over in the corner. Let's go and meet him too. And let's hear from Paul now, in his own words. Hi there, my name is Paul, and I'm a home group leader here at St Bridget's. I'm very happily married, and we've got 2 lovely teenagers, a boy and a girl. And I'm a teacher in the local secondary school. There's something I absolutely must share with you this morning. I am longing to die. Oh, no, it's okay. Don't call the Samaritans. I just mean that it's going to be so wonderful to be with Christ for eternity. I can't wait. But not just yet, though, because there's so much that God is calling me to do first. To be honest, life's pretty tough sometimes. My younger daughter has turned away from faith and doesn't come to church anymore. And I find that really hard. But we just have to keep loving her, keep praying, and keep trusting God to complete the work that He has begun in her life. It's pretty hard at work too, in the staff room. Everyone at school knows I'm a Christian, and I've set up a prayer group with some of the other Christian staff, and that is a huge support. But some of my colleagues give me a hard time for my faith. They make fun of me for going to church, and I'm sure that I would have been promoted to head of department by now if I wasn't a Christian. But actually, I've come to realise it's a privilege to go through some of this stuff, because I've had some really amazing opportunities to witness to my faith. And I even feel that in some small way, I'm following in the pattern of Christ's own sufferings. You met Jack and Tracy earlier. They're friends of mine too. I play golf with them sometimes, but to be honest, I don't get there that often because my diary's pretty full and I always make sure that I'm at church on a Sunday. It is just so important to join in worshipping God and in prayer with my brothers and sisters here. That unity is so important that it was on Jesus' heart and in his prayers the night before he died. So it really does matter. And I feel a real calling to serve God by leading the home group during the week as well. Yes, we are meeting on Zoom at the moment. I see this as my opportunity to encourage others in their faith, as we all try to live in a manner worthy of the gospel, honouring God in our thoughts, our words and our actions. You see, for me, life is centred on Christ. To worship him, to spend time with him, witness to him and serve him is what I live for. My family, my job and my me time are also important because we all do need those things in our lives, and let's not underestimate that. But what I really want to say, just as I say goodbye now, for me, to live is Christ. What about you?